Hi, my name is James Davis. We're here at HP Discover in beautiful Las Vegas, and I'm here with Carrol, who's going to actually help us walk through an actual Moonshot physical device. Carrol, you want to do a little quick introduction of yourself?
Sure. I'm Carrol Bassett, and I'm a product manager working on the cartridges that go into the HP Moonshot.
Wow, the actual cartridges. We got one that's going to take us through that portion. So, I want to, of course, ask you a million questions about this, but the most important one I want to actually ask you is, what have people been walking up and asking you about?
Oh, well, a lot of people walk up and say, I've heard about it, but now I get to see one. So we have to show them the physical system, and then we get to talk about the solution and how they would actually use the product. So where would you like me to start?
Well, I mean, we see in a lot of different workloads that come in, and between finance, different verticals, people ask a million and one of those questions. Anywhere you would like to start on the device, as far as pointing out, we'd be happy to start with.
Okay, that sounds good. So Moonshot is our response to a challenge that our executives gave us to come up with the most dense, lowest power server that we could find. And the solution looks like this. So this is a completely self-contained server. It's got a processor, it's got memory, front and back, and it's got a little bit of built-in storage. So this is a completely independent server node. We had to pick very low power components to make something this small and stay within this power envelope. So this one happens to be based on an Intel Atom processor, and we have qualified it with web serving software from Nginx, and we sell this as a web serving solution. So this is another kind of server cartridge. This one has 4 servers on it. It's not a 4 processor server, it's 4 independent server nodes. So here we have 4 AMD Opterons with AMD's APU built in. They each have their own memory DIMM. They each have a little bit of solid state to boot from. And this server cartridge we sell with a solution from Citrix to do hosted desktop interface. So it's not virtualized, it's physical. And because it has the APU built in, you get the graphics acceleration. So you can give your customers a remote desktop interface, but with graphics that they love. One of the coolest things about Moonshot is how many servers you can load into a system. So each of these server cartridges go into one of these slots, and I can have 45 cartridges loaded in the entire product. With that single processor server, that means 45 independent server nodes and 2 built-in switches. So it's like taking a 47U rack filled with 1U rack mount servers and a pair of top-of-rack switches and squishing it down to this very small space.
Excellent conversation. Now, I know on the back here, you have different capabilities between the power and some of your uplinks and movements. How's that working out now?
Okay. One of the ways that we got to this kind of density was by taking the power supplies and fans and cooling and making it one module that's powered the entire chassis. So we have a set of redundant power supplies, a set of redundant fans, and the uplink modules, which bring the Ethernet fabric out to the rest of your data center. In the middle is our management module. So when you need to be the administrator for Moonshot, you only have to log in once. You don't have to log in separately for each of the server cartridges that are installed.
What fun is that? So I don't get to all 45. I get one spot and actually have a software-defined server. That's amazing.
You'll have time to go have lunch.
So have you, in the use of configuration and setup, what's been about the time frame for you? If you guys put it in your lab, say, hey, I want to get this up, I want to get all 45 of them in, what do you think your time frame would be?
You mean how long it would take a customer to stand this up?
Yeah.
I would give them a day.
That's excellent. I mean, I give them weeks normally in most situations, but a day is beautiful. Any other capabilities that you started looking at when you were dealing with the power? Very specifically, does this require us to change out, our existing data center power environments? Is this going to be exactly the same, just lower powered?
Well, the beauty of this is These server cartridges are such low power, I'll be able to put more of them into your existing rack, and I won't have to change your infrastructure. So if you've got a rack today that is filled to the top with one-use servers, they're probably about 130, 150 watts each, and that is using up all the power that you're able to bring into that rack. This cartridge by itself can run between 30 and 50 watts by itself, depending on which cartridge you have chosen to buy. That's a lot less than what you're using today. So I'll be able to put more than one of these Moonshot chassis into your rack, into the rack you're using today. You won't have to change your infrastructure.
Great deal. Thank you very much, Carrol. One last question for you. What's the next upgrade? What are we gonna choose to put in there next?
So the second half of this year, we're going to see faster switches, and we're going to see more server cartridges come to market.
All right. Thank you very much, Carrol. You've been absolutely great.